All right, taking a big jump here into 250808. I needed a sloopy lofty as an exercise, and so we're going to get into this. Definitely have some thoughts on Creo's blends. So we'll make it work, but it doesn't go the way we'd like it to. Here we go. So we are in grams, and okay, so we've got a straight pardon me, a straight section at both ends, and then a blend section that has a guide curve. And maybe I'm missing something. It's very possible. But I'm not getting the guide curves to work. So we'll just, you know what? Let's grab those and make them, oh, it offered it and I didn't get it. Come on. There we go. This diameter is 80. The other thing that I did try earlier is I tried it with a wall thickness, and it made the solid body not work as well. So this time I'm going to extrude, but I'm going to start on the other end. So I'm going to create a datum plane on the fly. So I'm going to offset it from the right wall 127 all the way over. And create a sketch tangent at the bottom. And that has a diameter of 50. And make sure that goes the other direction, 30. Okay. So we've got some straight sections here. Let's make a sketch. And it's just a line on the bottom. But the top has two tangent arcs and then a tangent line. So if I start kind of on the horizontal and then place my arc, okay, I'm going to try the same thing here. That was an accident. I want to get rid of that one. Okay. Add a line. Here's a fun little trick. Okay. I'm going to drag a select box there, tangent, select box there, tangent. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? I really love that. All right. This arc here is a radius of 35. This one has a radius of 40. All right. So here's the thing. Let's do it the way that it'll work, and then we'll come back and talk about it. I'm going to do a boundary blend. So this is a surfacing tool. My first direction is going to start with this edge. Unfortunately, Creo doesn't take circles. It takes semicircles. So you got to hold down Shift to get the second option. Then hold down Control. Select the top. Hold down Shift, but not Control, to get the second edge. So Shift allows you to expand what's in a selection, and Control allows you to add extra selections. Okay, do check and make sure that that looks pretty good. In the second direction, we're going to add the two guide curves. So the top one, and hold down Control whenever I say and the second one. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Although this is not it's definitely not a hollow. If I try to add a shell, I don't even know if it'll work. Let's see. So we're going to give it a wall thickness of 5 and remove the two surfaces. Yep, that doesn't work. But we can leave it and we can take advantage of it later, right? So, we're going to go back in time before the shell. And we'll solidify the quilt. Okay. So what I want to do is instead of replace surface, I want to fill with solid. Let's see if this works. I think that's going to work. Let's see if I shell now. Yep, and it's going all the way through. Okay. Last part of this is a chamfer. So we'll add a chamfer here and here. So hold down Control. That's a 2. I do prefer 45 by D. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. And whoops. I think everything looks right. So let's check this out. So we're plus or minus 1 gram. Let's try 4. All right, so we got it done right. Let's talk about Creo and its blends. So in order to do this, I'm going to go back before the boundary blend. So to start with, we could just do blend. We could take our, we could do selected sections. I can use a right click to get to the intent edge and just grab that outer edge. I can add another section and I can, again, right click to get the intent edge with just the entire circle. Okay. But that's not exactly correct. We could try adding in it is already a smooth wall, it's not straight. We could try setting a tangency at one end. We could, which honestly does help. Tangencies at both ends do help. Where's our sketch, right? So I'm going to drag my mass properties up here. Let's see. Oh, let's drag up the chamfer and the mass properties. Oh, and the shell. Need the shell too. All right, so it looks like we would have gotten the same mass doing it that way, but technically it's not really following that guide curve. And if I go back into that blend tool, really don't see any other options here for adding curves to help us with this blend. Okay. So not too bad, but not exactly what we're going for. And really the blend vertexes wouldn't have helped on this one. Okay. So if we go back in time before the blend and we try a swept blend. Okay, so the trajectory, we could try the bottom one. Okay. And then maybe also add a secondary. Or you know what, let's do, anyway, sections, let's select, let's hold down, insert another section, select that. Okay, really not doing much with this curve. Not really. Could try changing the paths. Right. Where our constant normal is relative to there. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting for sure. Yeah, I'm not getting the shape using blend or a swept blend. geometry. So boundary blend does seem to work, but it does create a surface. It does give you the ability to have those guide curves. You just have to solidify it after creating it. So I use the Solidify tool. Actually, let me show you the thicken that happened. So let's go back up here. And instead of doing, actually in this case what I did was my extrude 1, I did a thicken sketch with a wall of 5, making sure it's on the inside. And over here I did a thicken sketch with a wall of 5. Again, I never trust, I always verify. Does kind of break my sketch boundaries when I change that. When I change it from a solid to a tube, it breaks my references. So we can just add a lot of little coincidences. Oh, that's wrong. And the more we add, the more dimensions will just go away. All right, let's see here. Let's make this horizontal. And then let's make some stuff tangent. All right. All right, let's get our first one. Okay, so for this one, it really didn't want me to do intent edge. So select one, shift, get the second one, hold down control, one, shift, second one. Okay, so there's my boundary blend. With the thicken, you can see a little bit better that it's hollow on the inside there. Okay. And maybe it's not obvious because I don't have that bluish purple color, but that's my quilt. Thicken's not doing what I thought it would do here. I thought I would just select this and give it an inner wall thickness of 5, but it's not working. Okay. Let's actually do a quick cross section so you can see what happens. There are some options when you're adding a wall thickness. Normalist surface, automatic fit. So that does some interesting stuff. It doesn't break it, but it's not what we're looking for. So I thought maybe controlled fit would be the way to go. If I show you my coordinate center, you can see X is side to side, Y and Z essentially would be kind of in the plane. So I figured, what if I don't allow translation in X and I only allow translation in Y and Z? And that is not doing what I thought. Yeah, so the thicken's not working the way I'd hoped it would. And that's when I went back and changed my extrudes to be solid, made the boundary blend solid, and added a shell throughout the entire thing with the ends open. Okay. So even if you're not familiar with surfacing tools, the boundary blend surfacing tool in Creo is really nice and easy to use as long as you remember to hold down Control to get multiple in one direction, shift to a second direction, hold down Control to get multiple in that direction. And if you need chains, make sure you hold down Shift to get a chain included into those boundary blend curves. All right, thanks.